And we are live. Hello, boys and girls, cats and dogs. I don't think I have the angle right. Let me try this again. There we go. Yes. Oh, let me reposition myself. Yes, there we go. Oh, gosh. Hello, boys and girls, cats and dogs. We are an inclusive channel here, and this is my Topic Tuesday. Today's topic is a retreat recap because most of you already know I went to another men's fiber retreat over the weekend and it was perfectly lovely. Oh, hey Frenchie! Oh, so glad to see you. Hey Roberta, glad to see you too. Um, so it was perfectly lovely. I'm not going to get into the business. Hey, all handmade. I'm not going to get into the business of comparing one retreat to another. Hey, Jackie. Um, but yeah, they were both lovely. So let me just tell you about this retreat. First, first I'm going to talk about in generalities because I always want to start off by thanking everything that moves because everybody who watches my channels, watches my videos and comes to my live streams, is doing me a wonderful favor, and I am very grateful. And people also help me by subscribing, liking these videos, watching them to the end, especially if it's a replay of a live stream. And I have patterns on Ravelry. I have merch on Teespring. So Nightbot will kindly drop those links as we continue. So I just want to thank everybody who comes. Also, a brief summary of my normal schedule. Today is Tuesday. It's always going to be a Topic Tuesday. Wednesday is a Wednesday free-for-all with no topic. Thursday, I usually don't post a video. Friday is... I do something on most Fridays, but it's an unpredictable format. Yes, Frenchie says that I am very close to 2K. I think last time I looked, I only need 12 people to reach 2K. Help a brother out, please. Let's see. Fridays, it's not even a rotating format because that suggests a structure that is not there, but it's more of a formless format. Hey, Peter Paws, yay! Saturdays, I usually don't post anything. Sundays, I have Sunday readings, although I didn't this past weekend. Mondays, I have my Monday Men, which is my favorite thing to do. Lori, hey! Um, um, I love doing the interviews. I think they're the most fun. I'm very pleased with the response I get. I haven't looked at the analytics in sufficient detail, but I think the fact that I love to do them, I think they turn out well, and I get good response is enough. I don't know exactly the metrics, but, you know, I love to do them. That's enough. Hey, ELQ. Not sure I've seen you before, but you're always welcome here. Hey, Kenny. Wow. Glad to see you. So anyway, for everybody who is just joining us, today the topic is a retreat recap. So last Wednesday, I was going to go up a day early to the retreat because officially it was to start on Thursday. But I was going to go up a day early just to hang out and just have that time and meet people. And I woke up and realized there was Let us say there was a banking glitch that made it appear as if I could not go on Thursday, which made me very sad. But fortunately, my sister helped me out in the interim. I trust that it has been taken care of. I haven't really checked up on all of that stuff since I came back, but I trust that it has been taken care of in the interim. So I did go on Wednesday, a little later than I intended, but I went. So I drove, oh God, the entire length of North Carolina, which is a very big state, on Interstate 40, which is a very boring highway. And I listened to NPR the whole time. Big mistake. I'm just too sensitive for those news stories. I do not recommend driving with tears in your eyes, but I heard some really good things as well, some really encouraging things. Anyway, I got there. I met some perfectly lovely people. I mean, I hope that some of these uh, wonderful men that I met over the weekend will be very, very long-term friends. Thursday, some of us went into, it was in, there's a retreat center near Black Mountain, which is near Asheville, which is in the western part of North Carolina. If you've ever seen like the movie Being There with Peter Sellers, that I think a lot of that was filmed at Biltmore, which is near Asheville. But anyway, so we were in Black Mountain, a beautiful mountain tourist area. We went into on Thursday. We went into town. We went to the yarn shop. I resisted buying anything, although there were so many beautiful, beautiful things. I posted a picture from the yarn shop that day on Instagram. And then we had lunch at a perfectly lovely German restaurant in Black Mountain, which is called Berliner Kindle. And then we came back and we had, afternoon welcomes and everything. Hey, Michelle's Mosaic. Exactly, Lori. By the end of the day, it's full of despair. Oh, Kenny, are you still on your tablet? Oh gosh. Oh, ELQ, you were in my. I was in your backyard. Where's that? So anyway, yeah, that was good. And then on Friday, various, program things. Most of the program was about knitting. I was the only one I was aware of who only crochets. There were a few people who knit and crochet. And the skill level of the knitting people, just amazing. Some of the things that they had to show were just amazing. It made me feel a little bit insignificant in the things that I had brought along for show and tell. So what do we do that day? I don't remember exactly the all the classes and stuff. There was only one programmed crochet related class or workshop, and that was about Bosnian crochet, which I really didn't know before, but it's all about slip stitching, not even single crochet, slip stitching. And in the end, I think I can do without that. I mean, I might find a way to use it at some point, but I can go on living without doing any more of that. There was another day when I volunteered to host like an informal crochet discussion that really didn't have a topic and was going to go wherever anybody wanted to talk. But there were only two other people who attended, so we talked a little bit and then we just started schmoozing and gossiping like you do. Hey Gina, glad to see you. Um, ah, Laurie, I agree. Yes, yeah. I met some great guys there, and I coerced some of them into modeling some of my crochet goods. I won't say how I coerced them, but let us say we all wound up happy. Hey, Suzanne. Um, and yeah, I posted them on Instagram, on Facebook. Most of the things that I post on Instagram go to Facebook, to my page, Bearded Yarn Dudes. Um, let's see, what else did I have to say? Overall, it was a perfectly wonderful experience. I mean, the best part was just the other guys there. It was all men. Um, I won't say that every men's fiber retreat is going to be all gay men. This time it happened that it was. Sometimes there are straight men. I mean, in New York, there were a couple of trans men, and um, we're okay with minorities. Um, we accept everyone. But I met some perfectly wonderful, wonderful people, and some people who were like very experienced. I mean, there was one guy who was there's apparently with knitting there is like some kind of a master guild certification, and this one guy is an adjudicator. He is one who judges the submissions for this master certification for knitting, and that just shows you the level of his expertise. He does amazing artwork with knitting, um, as well as regular knit output, and he's hysterically funny. He's he's written loads and loads and loads. He's traveled all over the world. The stories he tells are amazing. And then I also, there was one fellow who was a retired teacher who, with whom I would like stay up until 4 o'clock in the morning talking because, hey, Doneen, because he was just so fascinating. I felt flattered that he was interested in whatever I had to say to talk with me all that long. Um, um, but oh my gosh, the stories that he had to tell about his work as an educator were, I mean, at the same time, extremely moving, and also on an intellectual level, extremely fascinating. And, so many other really, really great guys. I think I made I hope that I made some deep connections that will last um, um, with these guys. Oh my goodness, Deneen. Oh gosh, looks like winter has hit Saskatchewan, hasn't it? So anyway, let's see. Sunday morning was when we left. Actually, I had to skedaddle a little earlier than I expected. I had not realized that we had to leave the retreat center at the time that we did. So fortunately, I was able to just get out of there, load up my car, and get everything out. Oh my gosh, I have not told you yet. The yarn. Oh my god, the yarn. There was a table where people could donate stuff and people could pick up stuff for sale. There was all to benefit the Retreat Scholarship Fund. So I got 6 skeins of this Lion Brand denim in this colorway. 6 skeins for $6. Not so bad. One of the lovely gentlemen there brought bins and bins and bins of stuff from his stash. He was decluttering his house. So he had it all for sale, and he was sharing the proceeds with the Retreat Scholarship Fund. And I got, let me show you some of them. I got 5 skeins or hanks of hand-dyed yarn for $17. You're lucky if you can get, in a local yarn shop, you're lucky if you can get 1 hank of hand-dyed yarn for $17. So I don't have all 5 anymore. I gave one of them to Granny D. I'll tell you about that later. But wait, there's more. There is this beautiful yarn. Oh gosh, I can't tell who it's from. Anyway, Blue Sky. Isn't that gorgeous? As a door prize, I won 5 hanks of this. So that's like, in total, that's 1,090 yards. This is gorgeous stuff. I think it's all, it's from Peru. It's baby alpaca and fine merino combined. Isn't the color gorgeous? Anyway, I won 5 hanks of this as a door prize. And that was provided by a yarn shop in Franklin, North Carolina, which is not too very far from where we were. But anyway, also the fellow who had the hanks of yarn that he was decluttering with. Michelle's Mosaics is a new member. I think I have to do it. You know what I'm gonna do. She's not, unless I missed one. It's not really, wow. It's not really a super chat, but a new member is definitely worth celebrating. Thank you, Michelle's Mosaics. Oh, hey, Little John. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to see you. Hey, Teresa Burke Dukes. So anyway, so this fellow who had all of that yarn that he was basically selling at a huge loss. He also had a ton of handmade Notions bags. I had to buy this one because of the puppies. It was $3. But wait, there's more. He had also brought along some things because he was already a follower of this channel. So he had brought some things from his stash that he meant entirely just as a gift for me. And hey, Left is Right, glad to see you. Um, um, uh, and so that was just so remarkably generous. So it's funny because when we moved the stuff he was giving me from the trunk of his car to the trunk of mine, it felt a little bit like a drug deal because we didn't want to tell the other people about it because it was just a gift. But not only that, he gave me. He had some other bags that he gave me to include in future giveaways. Nice things, don't you think? Notions bags for future giveaways. But wait, there's more. So, Sunday, I left. I went to Charlotte. I live in Wilmington. This was in the mountains of North Carolina. Sunday, I was going to stay Sunday night with a friend in Charlotte. Hey, Deb. Yeah, that worked out fine. Yeah, that worked out perfectly fine. I had a wonderful time, and in fact, she invited me to stay for an extra night, and that was even better. Because frankly, her house is a lot nicer than mine. And I sort of needed that decompression time. But that also allowed me the time on Monday. I drove up to Salisbury, which was, it's only an hour, but I got to see Granny D. And of course, Granny D is certainly worth an hour's drive. So we went up there. Granny D gave me a bag of yarn because you can't meet up with Granny D without receiving a gift. You know how she is. So of course I gave her. I was already prepared to give her. I was going to give her one of the 5 skeins of the hand dyed yarn that I had gotten, plus at least some of the other things that I had gotten. And then we had lunch, and that was lovely. And then, because it was close, I went to visit my undergrad college, where I had not been there in many, many years. And I have to say that made me sad. But that was pretty much, that might have been the only sad part of the whole weekend. Because that evening, I went back to my friends in Charlotte and stayed that night, and they took me out to dinner. And honestly, even though it was just a diner, it was the best food of the whole weekend. And then I came home this morning. I left their house in Charlotte at 7 this morning. I was awake very early anyway, because I always am. So I just got up and left. I mean, they're late risers. They knew I was going to do that anyway. They were prepared. They even turned off their alarm so that I wouldn't disturb anything when I just unlocked the door and, walked out and closed the door behind me. It was funny, though, because I hit the wrong button on the key fob for my car. And at 7 o'clock in the morning, there was my car going, beep, beep, beep. But apparently they didn't hear anything. So, and I stopped it. And I got home before 11 this morning. So I've just been hanging out. I've been trying to organize all of this stuff that I now have. Let's see. I don't know what else I have to report about the weekend. Yes, that's true, Alicia. You make the most noise when you try to be quiet. Yes. Hey, Linda! Hey, I'm glad to see you. Oh, yeah. Oh, it was great to see Granny D. I always love to see Granny D. This was second or third hanging out with her. It's always lovely. I mean, most of you know, Granady and I went to the same college at the same time, and we didn't know each other. And it was a very small school. We have friends in common, but we still didn't know each other. So, that's my story for the weekend. I'm willing to entertain questions or any other kind of discussion. Also, I'm going to put the link up if anybody wants to join me. Okay, Alicia, I don't understand that comment. Uh, oh, two people have sick husbands. That's it. I understand now. I'm very sorry about that too. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. That's my story for the weekend. Also, I had done. For the friend I stayed with in Charlotte, she adores pink. You might remember this yarn that I got at the New York festival that I went to. I had done a different shawl. I wasn't happy with it, and when I gave it to her, I could tell it didn't really trip her trigger either. So I said, let me just take it back. And now I'm doing a moss stitch shawl out of it, and I think she's gonna like it better. I like it better. So I'm just gonna finish that up today. Because it's easy, but it does take a bit of time. So, well, I just posted the link if anybody wants to come up. Otherwise, hit me with questions or comments or anything else. So there's more news. I got home. Hey, Dad and everything. Let's see. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, yeah, I started to say I got home. There's now a kitten in our household. Oh, she's a little cutie, but I'm already bleeding. So I don't know how that's going to turn out. So it could be that the dog and I are in one side of the house, and the kitten and my sister are in another. Although my sister is better at cleaning up after the dog than I am. Let's see. Hey Karen, glad to see you. I was just telling about my weekend at the retreat. It was a lot of fun. It was a very, very good weekend. Hey Mish, okay. Your 12th mosaic blanket this year. Wow. Hitter pose, that just might be the case with this one. Actually, I think that the dog and the kitten are still learning to get along, and my sister had deposited the kitten in my arms to introduce me, and I don't know what it was, but something triggered the kitten in the dog, and so suddenly there were claws and everything, and then I was bleeding. Oh God. I need to speak cat. I don't know how to speak cat. I don't know anything. I'm not a boss. So, what else is going on? Tell me everything. What did I miss over the weekend? Because I haven't been online very much. I did some daily recaps. Oh, there was something else I wanted to share. I can't remember what it was. Oh, let me show you. I started. That's not it. Started redoing my sweater that would not die with some beautiful, beautiful yarn. It's Lion Brand Fisherman's Wool that one of my amazing viewers sent to me. Isn't that? Look at that. Isn't it fun? So that's the front panel. I also did the back panel and one sleeve. And now I'm taking a break to rework this pink shawl, and then I'll do the other sleeve and then work up the neck, and I'll have a pattern worthy of publishing soon. I have a specific goal by the end of the year for did you really, Karen? Oh, are you a cat whisperer? Yes, Teresa, it is great yarn. It's Lion Brand Fisherman's Wool. It's, I believe the colorway is called Birch Tweed. And this one wonderful, wonderful viewer sent me a ton of it. And it's not cheap stuff. I'm so grateful. So anyway, so I've done one sleeve. I started the second one, but now I'm reworking this pink shawl, and then I'll get back to that one. And we'll get it up. I have my Tunisian shawl, which will be ready to publish soon. How do I juggle all my whips? I do not have any kind of a system. I go wherever the spirit moves me. And somehow, sometimes I get things done and sometimes I don't. And, that way I can both accomplish stuff and beat myself up. Double the benefit. Granny D, hey! I was telling people about our lunch yesterday. We had a good time. Yay! I told people you gave me a big bag of yarn, even though I had already come away from the retreat with tons of yarn, and I haven't even gone through what you gave me yet. But it looks like it's all good stuff. So anyway, oh gosh, we were talking. Yes, Gina. All the yarn I got at the retreat is beautiful. I was determined. I overspent on yarn in New York, so I was determined to underspend on yarn at this retreat. I spent $23 on yarn. There are individual hanks of hand-dyed yarn that are more than $23. Oh, I think the spirit moved you in the right direction, Alicia. Yeah, so I honestly, I only spent $23 on yarn. That includes those 5 hanks of hand-dyed yarn and the 6 skeins of the Lion Brand denim. Plus, I bought that one bag for an additional $3. Granny D, were you there? Did I show you this adorable puppy bag? Isn't that cute? I don't really need another Notions bag, but it has puppies. So yeah. So I gave Granny D one of the 5 hanks of hand-dyed yarns that I got. I'll probably give Andrea Granny Square one of another one of them, plus some of the other yarns. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. Isn't it a great bag, Linda? It's adorable. So yeah, it's I had a really good time. I want to keep doing these retreats because it's wonderful. It's wonderful to get away. It's wonderful to be surrounded by men who do yarn. Okay, bye bye, Linda. I'm so glad you stopped by. I'm always happy to see you. Okay, I'm going to post the link again. Okay, I thought I was going to post the link again. Let's try that. Oh no. Let's try now. Oh, drat. Okay, there's the link. If anybody wants to come up, I would be very happy to see you here. Here's my bearded yarn dude's mug. Oh, I'm so glad you came, Alicia. Thank you so much. We will talk. Oh, also, I have some new Monday men from this retreat. So the coming weeks and months should be very interesting indeed. I hope. Anyway, what else shall we talk about? I love this pink yarn that I'm working with. Isn't it cool? And this is my Granny D Moss Stitch shawl. I'm reworking a shawl that I did in another stitch that I didn't think it turned out well. I do not know how old the new kitty is. My sister has all of that information, but I mean, she wasn't expecting me to be here as early as I was, and so we haven't really talked an awful lot about that. But that's okay. The pupper and I will keep to our part of the house, and the kitty and she will keep to their part. That's fine with her. Yeah. I mean, honestly, the within a few minutes of having that kitty in my arms, I was bleeding. Bleeding, bleeding, bleeding. Oh, from the face to, let me see. You can't really see it now, but. Oh. Karen says babies are easier than older cats. Probably true. This is a kitten, though. And this kitten and the dog are still learning to get along. So, if the dog and I have to move out, I will gladly accept sponsorships. Now, my sister's always been more of a cat person than I am. Although she does like dogs as much as I do, she just likes cats more. That's okay. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, no matter how stupid it is. I didn't say that. Okay then. Gosh. So much yarn went into this, but you know, it takes a lot of yarn to make one of these grenadine shells too. I should have started out with a larger hook. This one I started out with a magic circle. And it worked. It worked out well. This is the beginning. I've already stitched in the loose ends. So I normally am suspicious of that thing, magic circle, magic ring, whatever the hell you call it. Yeah, letterboxes. Ew. Oh, Granny D, that's just like me. I call all dogs puppies. Our dog is 11 years old. I still call him a pupper. No, that's okay. Hmm. Oh, hey, Pam. Work has been crazy. Well, on the one hand, it's good to have work, but still, crazy is not good. Oh, do you know what? I was showing you all of this yarn that I got over the weekend, and also I got a notification. There's Happy Mail at my PO box. I suspect it's more yarn. I'm sort of scared. I mean, no, I'm not scared. I'm sort of thrilled, but I'm also scared. What am I gonna do with all this yarn? Um, I'll find something to do with it, of course. I don't know what kind of think right now. I have a bunch of backed up stuff, backed up projects, stuff that I need to get out that I haven't done yet. I mean, finished objects that need to go somewhere. Anyway, I need to text Gwenny Square. I'll use it up. I hope so. I hope so. I want to figure out something to do with 1,090 yards of hand-dyed worsted yarn. Of all the same solid color. And then each of those hand-dyed hanks, I don't know what to do with. Hey, Deborah B. So Deborah and anyone else who has just joined us, I don't know what we're doing. Oh, look, we have 23 people in the room, it looks like. How are we doing for thumbs? You know, we're always aware of thumbs. Well, depending upon where the thumbs are placed. Yeah, Suzanne says I could make myself a beautiful sweater. I'll have to figure out what to do with that. I mean, how to make a sweater that doesn't take 2,000 yards. So it looks like we're doing great for thumbs, but if you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, please go ahead and do it. I won't be hurt because you're late. Yes, Lemon is remarkably talented. I wish I could do the things that he does. By the way, if you haven't seen it, I did have a wonderful conversation with Lemon as part of my Monday Men series. I do have a playlist of all of my Monday Men series. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Watch me. Please watch me. Exactly, Deborah. I wondered whether a sweater vest might work. And I could be coerced into wearing a sweater vest if it was of my own making and it was that gorgeous yarn. Pam, actually, I don't have to use it all on one project. But then if I split it up, how would I do that? And what other projects would I do? I don't know what to do, honestly. I think other hand-dyed hanks, the these sort of things that I showed you. I've never been a big fan of cowls, but I think they're the perfect length for cowls. So I might do some of those. Let's see. Here's another one. And here's another one. And then, as I said, the fifth one I gave to Granny D. So, you know, I don't have to make any decisions today also, because I have a bunch of stuff to finish as we sit here. I'm working on this pink shawl. Fortunately, you know, I can do moss stitch in my sleep. So by the time I'm done with this, it'll be a nice size shawl, and the colors are just gorgeous. I can't get enough of this color. This is Jelly Beans. Let me see. I do still have the label right here. Jelly Beans by Plymouth Yarn. The color, let me see. The colorway does not have a name, but it has a number, 2478. And this stuff was $4 a yarn at the Adirondack Yarn Festival. So as I was saying, in New York, I overspent on yarn, so I was determined to underspend on yarn this time. And then, honestly, I only spent $23 on yarn, and then another $3 on that Puppy Notions bag, but it was worth that. And I got a bunch of really great yarn. The 5 skeins, that was a giveaway prize. So that's 1,090 of hand-dyed worsted weight yarn that is part alpaca, part merino, comes from Peru. And let's see what else. Yeah, I mean, I regret that I have not yet really examined the bag of yarn that Granny D presented me with. Because, you know, you cannot meet Granny D without her giving you a gift that is always going to be remarkably generous. So I haven't been through that yet. Um, but you know how we all are. We just pass yarn around. Um, I've got stuff in my stash that I want to pass around. So it will all work out in the end. It will all find a good home and a good use in the end. So let's see what else is going on. Let me see if I can post the link again. Oh look! Hey Granny D.
Hey, sweet friend, thank you so much for lunch and the bougie yarn, and it was and helping me get around.
Oh gosh, I worry about you.
My feet and legs are a mess, but
Hmm.
it could be worse. It could always be worse. Look what I'm working on still of yours.
Oh, did you tell me what yarn you were using there?
It's Unforgettable Sunrise is the color.
Hmm.
Ain't it
Hmm.
pretty?
It is. I love those colors.
Me too. And I love this pattern.
I love the way whenever you do the moss stitch, my pattern or anybody else's, the way it lines up
That's why I
with.
love it so much. I feel like it shows off the yarn so prettily.
Yeah.
Look, I got a new hook today.
Uh-oh. Did you
It's
go
not
back
a
to
furl.
Michael's?
It's not a furls. It's the $10 ones that are called Ommi, OMMI, that you get on Amazon.
Now, what did I tell you? We went to Michael's yesterday. I said it's okay to come out of Michael's with nothing in your hands.
Right. So I didn't get it from Michael's. I got it from Amazon.
It's okay to visit Amazon and not order anything.
True, but I've been waiting on. I only had the red one like this, so I wanted some other sizes and colors. So I got this one, and there's a blue one coming.
There you
And
go.
it's the size I need to work on your pattern. So
Oh, lovely. Yeah. Oh, Granny D, I have to tell you, after we parted, I went down to Meisenheimer. I visited Pfeiffer. It made
yeah,
me sad.
did it? Why?
Because well, I know it's just to be expected, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, nothing ever is.
Of course, you can't go home again.
That's right.
But yeah, it just made me sad, the whole thing. And I popped into the chapel, and I have a lot of friends who are very upset. For those who don't know, the music department was in the chapel. So I have a lot of friends who are very upset too about some of the renovations they've done to the chapel. I mean, I wasn't very happy to see, a sound booth in that august worship space. And then the classrooms, the classrooms are fine. But there was a commissioned portrait of the professor who was my advisor and actually a father figure for 4 years, longer than 4 years, um, and who actually built the music department that I knew in my time, and is still a legend, although he's gone. So there was a commissioned portrait. There was a big ceremony. I mean, that's the last time I went up there. I had gone up for that particular ceremony.
So was it
Mm.
gone?
When no, but it had not been hung yet.
Oh my gosh! And all that time.
I'm gonna have to write an email, and
Like the president.
I can write.
Yes, you
I
can.
has words.
I know you does.
So
Use them as your sword.
actually, I should copy the president of the college um, on this email.
Yep.
Um, but yeah. So
That's
after,
ridiculous.
yeah, I mean, ugh, a lot of the things. After this particular professor retired, which was shortly after I graduated, it seems like the whole thing fell apart, and that just makes me sad too. And it really hasn't come back.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of different skills in addition to the musical skills and the teaching skills to really make it happen.
Right, right, right.
Yeah. Anyway, moving right along. What else shall we talk about? Have you tried your tea yet?
No, not yet. Not yet. But today will probably be the day.
I was looking at those infusers,
Uh-huh.
and I was thinking of one that I used to have, where I could make a whole pot of tea with the loose leaf stuff.
Mm-hmm. Probably
Um,
like if I would have gotten that one big one, but truthfully, I only make 1 cup at a time, when I do my
well, I used to
uh,
drink like a whole pot of tea at a time in the morning,
wow.
as opposed to like several mugs of coffee
Right.
in the morning.
So
So
much better for you.
I had this really great infuser, but I think I lost it into the forest because I have no idea where it is.
Yeah.
Um, but I've also been looking at tea infusers on various retail websites that would probably be a lot cheaper than at that shop.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go back to that shop when my feet and legs are better and I can just look around more.
Hmm.
You can probably order online from there as well.
Yeah, it's a very nice shop. I think it's a great shop.
Hmm.
Um,
I couldn't believe it had been there that long. I just heard about it a few months.
yeah. What was the name of it? We're talking for
It's
those in the
Cause and
chat,
Tea Exchange.
and that's in Salisbury, North Carolina.
And I mean, it's a chain, I think. Cause
Is it?
I'm pretty sure because there was one in Gatlinburg. That's how
Hmm.
I knew about those mints I asked about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. There used to be one that was in upscale malls called David's Teas. It might still be around, but I don't go to upscale malls anymore.
I
Um,
hardly go anywhere anymore. It
no, really,
requires
the
walking and moving.
yeah, there's that issue. Oh my God. I thought I was gonna fall on and break my face. Um, um, outside the chapel where the
Uh-huh.
music department was, they have these steps that had always been there, like since the dawn of time. But
Yeah.
nowadays, and it's only 3 steps. But nowadays, I don't do steps like I used to, and steps
And
scare
is
me.
there railing?
Not, not there.
I didn't think so. I didn't remember any.
On the parking lot side of the chapel, you remember that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Um, but I managed it just fine. And I probably am a little too scared of steps, but I have
Boy,
experience, let
I
me
am.
tell you.
I've got like 5 steps to get up into my mobile home.
Mm.
But I've got rails on both sides.
You have to.
Sturdy wooden. Yeah.
I mean, actually, I have friends. That's one thing about the what they've done to the chapel, because they've renovated it, and they have this elevated chancel area, and it was always elevated with these steps that get up there, but there's no railing anywhere.
Wow.
I honestly,
I got to have railing or a body like you helping me out yesterday. I bet you
yeah,
thought, oh Lord, she's gonna pull me down when I got up from the table. That's hard.
I once sang in a church where they had that kind of chancel with steps leading up, stone steps with. I don't think there was a railing,
You know, in
and then
church, there's not to go up into the altar, but we always had ushers on each side. So if you were
well,
gimpy, you just went
yeah.
outside and held a hand.
Well, this one Sunday morning that didn't happen, and this one little old lady, I think they were serving communion at the altar or something like that. I don't remember exactly,
Right. That's the only
but she
time.
was coming up those steps and fell.
Mm-hmm.
It was not pretty. Hey, Dana, glad to see you.
Hey, Medina.
So, as you can see, I'm home now. I got home this morning.
Yeah, you left out pretty early, huh?
I left Charlotte at 7. I was on the bypass around Monroe by 7:30, really.
So when did you get home?
Just before 11, 10:45 maybe.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that was not so bad. I mean, I knew I had to be home for this.
Right.
Otherwise, I would have tried to pull some other.
Oh my gosh, I got so. I had I have these weird stomach attacks sometimes, and it's just awful. And I had one right before, like 15 minutes before 5 yesterday. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be. So I put a thing on my community tab saying I was sick and didn't think I could get on, but I would if I felt better. So I did get it after medicating and everything and lots of prayer. I got back on, but it was about 20, 25 minutes later. But Karen, a yarn addict with Karen, she doesn't come on till 6:30, so I was able to stay on till time for her, so it worked out.
Okay, cool. So for those of you who
throw up that good Mexican food, and I've still got our leftovers. That's going to be supper tonight, I think.
Yeah, that stuff wasn't bad at all.
I thought mine was good.
Yeah.
Not as good as the other place, though.
The other place, I will agree, was better. The one in Concord. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? For those who have not seen it, Granny D and I had a lovely conversation, and I posted it last Friday.
I just put it on my community tab a while ago.
Wonderful, wonderful. Also, for those who do not know, I've been hovering just short of 2K, and for far too long, and it's just making me crazy. Or maybe I should say crazier.
So we need to get David those last.
Last time I looked, it was 12, but
wow.
Yeah, but well,
I put
hit me up, people.
To come subscribe to you on my community tab.
That would be quite lovely.
And I also did that for Linda, just a crochet sister, because she just needs a few to get to her 3K.
What must it be like to have 3K?
Yeah, she said, can you imagine? She was imagining 3,000 people in her backyard. She said, that's the way I think of it.
Wow. No, I haven't.
Such a struggle with health problems, major with her heart and stuff. Like I didn't think she was going to make it this last time.
Well, we all know a little bit about health problems, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
So I found myself over the weekend feeling awkward when people were asking me about my health and about, my home situation and stuff, because it's not what it could be, let us say.
Right.
Hello, Layla. But it is what it is.
I always think it could be worse.
I always think, how could it be worse? And then I find a way.
Capital.
I find a way to make it worse. That's my particular skill. That's my unique selling proposition.
My goodness.
I'll find a way to make it worse. Just let me at it.
David.
So I am just stitching away at this grenadine moss stitch shawl.
Me too.
So, I don't know if you were in the room, Grant, when I was showing the work I had done on the. This is the front panel of my sweater that would not die.
Beautiful, beautiful. It looks like knitted cables almost.
Oh, that's a compliment. Oh my God. You should have seen some of the amazing skill with these guys. Big guys with big hands and like size 0 needles doing all of this fine work. I'm
Lacy, intricate stuff like
I'm just amazed.
I love that stuff, but I'm just so lazy. I just don't want to follow patterns. I love a good pattern that's a 1-row repeat.
Me too. Me too.
That's what I love.
Oh, hey, Red-Headed Riding Hood. I didn't see you come in.
I like a redhead.
Oh, yes, we love Kenny around here, Red-Headed. So I'm glad that he told you about me.
You love what?
Kenny Fordman.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, we love Kenny. So, Red-Headed Riding Hood learned about me apparently from Kenny.
Well, how cool.
I think it's cool too.
And I learned about Kenny through Dana Triple C.
I don't even remember how I learned about Kenny, but
he's often on their lives, hers and Joe's.
That must have been it. Yeah.
Yeah. And Brett, I don't know if Brett comes to your channel, but
I see Brett on Dana's channel. I'm subscribed to him. I don't really visit him, and I don't think he visits me.
To some of my lives, I get quite a few from Dana. You know, Dana and Joe are so nice to help.
Yeah. Lori is leaving for a trip to Florida, and she says her yarn project bag is bigger than her clothes and toiletries bag.
Hey, that's the way we do it.
Yep, exactly. And you'll come back with a bunch of finished objects, won't you?
And also, if we have some extra moolah and there's some yarn shops about, we leave a little extra room in our luggage to bring back.
Of course, yeah.
The more cuties.
Actually, when I went to the Black Mountain yarn shop, which is a gorgeous yarn shop, I posted 1 or 2 pictures of it on Instagram and Facebook. I asked them about specifically about yarn dyers who were local, The closest they had was one in Greenville, South Carolina, who had some really, really beautiful yarns that were really, really expensive.
Yeah. You made out like a bandit on your deals.
I sure did. Oh my gosh.
And I thank you so much for the one I got. And look, I balled up the pink and I've started knitting a pink hat. And this feels so
that's the pink kit that I gave. Are you making the hat from the pattern that was in the kit?
Are you kidding me? Well, basically, it's the same thing.
What was I thinking? I'm so sorry. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me.
It's a basic beanie, pretty much. So, yeah.
Oh, Free Handley is here.
Hey, Niecy.
Yeah, I knew that it was really nice yarn, but not enough of it to do a substantial crochet project. So I was glad to pass that one on.
Mm-hmm. It did have a crochet pattern also for a beanie. It had a knit and a crochet pattern.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but I sort of know how to make crochet beanies already.
Yeah, I know that.
But yeah, actually, I didn't look very closely. I was telling you about the Bosnian crochet that was all slip stitch.
That blows my mind.
You really need a pretty substantial yarn and a pretty large hook to make it in any way endurable, let alone rewarding. But actually, I don't know where it is. I don't have it at hand. As part of that class, I came away with another skein of really beautiful yarn that I haven't shown here, but it was really beautiful. Honestly, I don't know where it is now. For all I know, it might be by the side of, I-40 somewhere.
No!
Yeah, I'm sure it's not.
Heavens to Murgatroyd.
Red says she needs to learn to knit and asks if it's good for your mental health.
Good for anxiety, for what, just getting your mind, just like crochet.
Well, I only crochet. I honestly, also at this retreat, I was the only one there who only crochets. Anyone else who crocheted, who was there, primarily knits, as far as I can recall.
I don't know why I was thinking that you could knit. You just preferred crochet.
Well, I did learn a little bit of knitting when I was a kid, but I've just never done it as an adult. And I keep saying that knitting is a mystery to me, and that's okay because there's still a lot to learn with crochet.
Oh, yeah. A lot to learn with both.
Karen says she's just learning to knit, and it's great for your mental health until you mess up. Then it's not.
Yeah, we'll have to say crochet is much easier to fix boo-boos if you find them in time.
If you find them in time, yes.
Yeah.
Deborah agrees that it's both, I guess, are good for the mental health. Anything that forces your mind to focus and brings an enjoyable outcome. Yeah.
Totally agree.
I will have to say, there have been times in my life when crochet was the only thing in my life that brought me pleasure. And I'll just leave that there.
Yeah, well. I'm just so glad to have
Okay.
started a YouTube channel. That has brought me so much
Honestly. Oh,
joy
hey,
and
Wanda is here.
meeting so many wonderful people.
Honestly, yes. The community here, the yarn community through YouTube,
Yes,
has been amazing.
yes,
Absolutely amazing.
yeah,
And
fully agree.
I cannot completely express my gratitude there.
Hmm.
Oh, Lori is talking about there's a series through Marley Bird, Learning to Knit for the Crocheter. She says
Oh,
it's funny, but also she also thinks she's finally figuring it out. I will have to look for that, Lori,
super.
someday. Hey, Helene. Oh, you learned both knit and crochet at school. I think that's cool. I love the Netherlands. I haven't seen all of it, but the parts that I have seen, um, I love.
I think that's great that they teach that in schools.
It depends upon the school. I mean, well, also it depends upon the generation. Um, there was a time that in girls' schools they would teach stuff and not like Latin and Greek and all the classical learning stuff that the boys would get.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, I've been on for well over an hour. I used to end this at 3 o'clock, and we would all go over and raid Brenda.
No, I
She,
miss her coming on.
yeah, I miss her Tuesday 3 o'clocks,
Yes.
but I'm gonna have to call it a day
Well, I'm
for
so glad I could hop
today.
on with you and
I'm
tell
so
you
glad you came
again
up. Hey, my
what a
precious yarnery.
what a great time I had with you yesterday.
It was lovely. It really was. Um, so anyway, I will be back on tomorrow at 6 o'clock live,
That's
immediately
great.
following Granny D. And then Friday this week I'm going live. Next week is going to be recorded. Um, is next week Thanksgiving?
Think so.
Oh dear Lord. I'm also doing a marathon live stream on Black Friday.
My kids will be here, my Florida kids.
Oh God.
I'm looking forward to it, but at the same time, all this junk that looks very unsightly, but I know what stuff is. And
Oh, you know, your kids know you. They know what to expect. Nisi says she loved the Instagram pictures of you and me.
yeah, I just had the one. I need to
And I
send you
just
the
had the
one I
one
took,
too.
and you need to send me the one you took. Of course, they're basically the same.
They're completely the same. There's really no reason to
Yeah.
exchange them.
Okay, sweetie. Have a great
Mm,
day.
I'm
Blessed
so
day.
glad you were here. Bye bye
Yep. See
now.
you later. Love ya.
And also, I want to thank everybody who is here, and especially people who have been here the whole time. And as always, like, subscribe, comment, share, all the standard YouTube crap, and keep coming back. I'm going to call it a day, but I am ever so grateful for all of your participation. And I'm going to say bye now. Bye bye.